Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit saved version. And we had a nasty little surprise last turn, and it's sitting right here. And we are going to provide some overkill to kick that Portuguese fleet out of there. And once we're done, what I'm thinking is, for the short-term temporary, we will park our fourth rates right here so nobody can just move on in and do the quick blockade that just happened. So let's get to business here. This one upsets me. I lose income. I can't do what I want to do. That gets me. It's payback time, and we're gonna pay back in force on the Portuguese, and we're gonna see if we can't move that army out of Madrid and complete the payback. We shall see. Just because I'm feeling this way, I gotta get out there on the high seas and take it to them. We'll try to highly edit, keep this somewhat brief, but I want to take it to them and have a little fun. All right, we got the wind at our backs on this one, so I think we're actually just gonna keep ourselves front and center and see how that does for us. We'll keep it's only 4 ships in the fleet. We'll keep them in line just to approach the enemy. Let's go find out where she is. Straight ahead. And we're going to move straight ahead with the power of our fleet. And the Portuguese 5th rate is somewhat damaged. It's got both hull sides a little bit on the weak side, and we're looking at 34 remaining out of its original 48 guns. So I think it's going to hopefully be a nice little sitting duck for us down here. And just a quick note, I decided to split up my ships 2 and 2 just to advance on either side of this 5th rate. Alright, we're probably getting pretty close to being in range. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get this one to kind of turn off to get our broadside going. And we'll do the same on this side. His bow cannon took a shot that kind of split the two of us, if you didn't notice it. And we've now pretty much got ourselves positioned so we can just bombard from 4 different directions. And his hull strength plummeting rapidly. And he even loses a mast. Just now out of it. He will not last long. There's our first sign of wavering at last. And we have him routing. I knew it was just a matter of time. You could just see the explosions pounding his ship. And we just got ourselves a decisive victory. That'll teach them not to send a lone ship to blockade our ports. And just to make matters worse against the Portuguese, we are going to capture the surrendered ship. Alright, we don't have any funds this turn. We're just going to keep ourselves parked here. Our zone of control should effectively keep anybody from doing such a cheap blockade in the future. Okay, some other things that had popped up at the end of last turn that we haven't dealt with. We got a new rake over here that I don't want to forget to put to good use, because actually it came in a very convenient location for us. What I'd like to do is send our rake and see if he can infiltrate over here. 78% chance of success. He has successfully completed his mission. And the reason I want to do that is, yes, I know what the army is, but now I know the strength, the exact strength of this army. So it gives me some better information when making my plans to attack. The only bad thing is I cannot heal my army yet before the attack. So we gotta, this has delayed, this blockade by the Portuguese has delayed my payback over in Strasbourg. So we shall make that our next target, but it's going to have to wait another turn at least, because I'm not going against this very fortified position without a full strength army, because in just number of regiments they do outnumber us, but odds are we are going to repair and replenish before they build up many other forces here, and that's the tact we're going to take before we move in. Now, I did talk about two-tier action against the Portuguese as payback, and they seem to have an army here that we can match up to. They have a little remnant here, and then they're going to have some kind of force down here. In fact, let's peek at it. Okay, they only have remnants down there. So what we're going to do is see how much of our army we can move out, and I'm pretty sure at this point, yeah, we're gonna be able to move pretty much most of the army out. So let's start that process. In fact, let's leave, say, a couple units back. In fact, we have some least promoted units to use as a garrisoning force just for public order. There's a couple of my two least promoted units, so we won't miss them as much as some of the others. Let's move out. I think we got a pathway down this way, so let's move. Actually, I'm not sure how we get over to Portugal from where we are, but let's get out and just double check the public order. Yes, and we'll be okay. Barely. We will be okay. I might, in fact, even be able to... Nope, not quite. Not quite. So I actually guessed it right the first time. Let's get ourselves moving on out towards... And let's, in fact, get ourselves toward Portugal. And while we're at it, we can wreak havoc and enjoy some wine. Yeah, we'll just park there for this turn and be ready. We'll see whether they all... Unfortunately, I can't get close enough. In fact, maybe I can. So maybe I will try. I don't know how far much... I don't think I can move much farther, but if I can get far enough to get a zone of control here, that would keep them from all falling back. I just don't think I have the range to be able to do that. Let's find out. Nope, I can't even move out of the vineyard. So we will park in the vineyard. They may reinforce their city, make that battle a little tougher, but we are on our way. All right, here in the Americas, there's a lone fleet, which is not much to do in the Americas. We need to repair our army up after battling with the Iroquois, but don't have the funds. So what we'll do is we'll just take this lone remnant fifth rate that we sent back that had that important duty of shipping a gentleman over towards us. So we'll just join the rest of the fleet down here. And then we had also sent back a couple units for repair, which will at least get the port, but no repair. And then we're kind of probably looking similar over in India. Anything I really have wanted to do, we won't be doing because we have no funds temporarily because of that silly blockade. But I think, because on this last move between turns, you didn't notice, but I sure did, so I want to show you where they moved. They're within striking range now of my force over here. And they definitely outnumber me when you look at them all together. And this is my force. 14 regiments, period. So I think we got to take the live to fight another day mentality and give up a territory that we'll eventually have to come back and take again. But we're going to do it this way. It'll save build time if this army is destroyed trying to rebuild it back up. And we'll take our navy and temporarily vacate. Actually, I have no threats here. I might as well just keep my guys because they don't need to heal at all. We'll just keep our guys right here on the ship. We should be fine doing that. And just in case they don't move down, yeah, we can always move at a later date, and we'll keep an eye on what they're going to do. And then we have the East Indies, where we have an arrival also from last turn. Although, when I pop over here, look what, there's a little hidden retreating sloop that I forgot totally about. Yeah, in fact, we can send him back for repair. And we can look at bringing my 5th rate out and rotating some more vessels out for repair. And that should bring us up to date on what we needed to accomplish at the end of this turn. I think I refreshed my memory and didn't miss anything. So we should be okay. Let's get going on the next turn, and we'll see you on the other side depending on what happens. Okay, and the Mughals did pretty much what we expected them to do, and that is move on Goa here. So let's just auto-resolve and let them have it. And we shall vow to return. All right, we are seeing that the Portuguese Navy is still active and out there. The Straits of Madagascar have now been visited by the Portuguese Navy. We're going to play the runaway game again. I wish we could bring the Spanish in somehow to help us out, but no, I don't think so. So we're going to take some World of Hurt on our ivory trade right now. And now we know where this remnant Portuguese fleet has fled to. Well, I don't know how much it is that they've fled, but they've showed up here to do some damage. We're going to try running him away and using up his movement as much as possible. And let's auto-resolve and hope he doesn't capture our flutes. Okay, no one captured. However, he lost 6 of his ships. So we did bigger hurt on him than he did on us. He only has 4 vessels remaining, so he will not be able to keep up this pace against the rest of our trade nodes down here. I do not believe. So this actually is not a bad result. All right, we still are vastly outnumbered. He is basically we took care of all his riffraff ships. He still has 4 5th rates, which is much stronger than anything we can offer up. So we're going to try to retreat again. Would have been better if you treated somewhere with more distance, but let's auto-resolve, see if we can manage somehow to take out another ship and not get captured. This time we have 1 remaining, but we did strengthen him. He did capture another one. Okay, our army was destroyed in India as they took over their province of Goa. We have a new agent recruited in Flanders, a Protestant missionary. Why don't we put him to use? We can combat some of this Catholicism and get it back in order. In fact, we can ascend this guy because we're actually making headway against that priest, or the priest there, and we're making headway with our 2 churches in England. We can head down to these Italian states maybe with this guy. So this is where we'll tell him to move. All right. An enemy fleet has undertaken a raid on a trade route. Let's see. We have Venice still wreaking havoc with our trade between Russia, Ottomans, and whatnot. That hurts us. Well, if we do end up gaining an income back of at least 4,118, having our port back, that's still pretty measly income, pretty meager income. We're going to have to, in fact, probably this hurts. Now that I'm staring right at it, I didn't notice anything there happening, but we have a burning port. I don't know if it was burning that we took over from Spain and never fixed it, or if this vessel damaged here. So we may have to send someone out here just so they can't keep damaging it. They can blockade it if they want. But we know what happens to blockaders. Alright, let's see what else we got going. A successful mission. Our rake is planted so we can see. About that, we got another traded, another route. So the Venice Navy is just spread out, and if I can get a force down there once we take care of Portugal, I'll have a fleet available to start addressing Venice down here. In the meantime, we'll have to deal with what they give us here. We do have some new construction. Unfortunately, we can't afford a whole heck of a lot of construction at the moment. We have some armies that need repair. That's where those funds are going to go at least this turn. And yeah, we know about this lost region. And we know about our destroyed fleet. Alright. Let's take a look up here, because this is where I need to repair more. And this is where we're going to spend as much as I can to repair this army. And it's not going to be enough, what I have right now, to do it. Yeah, 7,445 is what it will take to repair. We're going to spend everything we can right now to get that going. Hopefully he won't be repairing or recruiting at the same time. We just got to remember, he's got his 25 regiments. If we see that growing, in fact, our agent will have to remain in. I guess we have to infiltrate them again because we do not all of a sudden see their numbers. So sabotage, assassinate. I should be able to see their numbers because I have a successful mission. So if I have to, now we'll stay there. I believe we're infiltrated. We should be able to see it again next turn, I'm hoping. If not, we'll move them out, move them back in to get a better idea on their numbers. Let's get down here, Portugal. So only the small token army here was able to get back to fortify in Lisbon. We are going to take care of this straggling force to keep them from uniting together here. I think this is what we'll move first. And this looks like it might be a little pretty fun battle. Open field battle. No more walls for a little while. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with line infantry, some guerrillas, irregulars, line infantry, regiment of horses. There's no pushover force that we're dealing with here. We won't have a lot of militia like we're used to. We definitely have three guerrillas, so they've got to make sure we don't allow them to be shooting at us out of distance. Looks like it'll be fun. We do have an advantage overall. Our numbers outnumber them vastly, but a little stronger army than we're used to facing. So let's have some fun down there. We'll see you on the battlefield. And we got some big old heavy rainfall to put a damper on some of our fun that we're about to have. I think what we'll do is we seem to have better range of the battlefield over on this hill over here, so that's where we're gonna especially center our artillery pieces. So let's get that done first. In fact, I'm going to continue the remaining setup, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. All right, here's the setup we got. We did put the cannon over here on the hillside. It gives us a pretty dang good view of the battlefield here. Even though we're getting wet, at least we have a good view of the battlefield. In fact, there's no immediate dips as they move close to block any canister fire either. There's a tiny dip down here as they're approaching the cannon where they might be out of range or out of sight, but it's not a concern. We got a couple regiments over here on the left side backed up by cavalry. That's all we got over here. I have a feeling the bulk of the force is off on this side, and that's where we're going to deal with the bulk of it. We also have 2 cavalry units down on this side. These are my main guys to go hunting out their artillery, at least hunting out their artillery as long as they leave it exposed. Otherwise, they'll do standard cavalry flanking duties. We have only 2 regiments in reserve, both have fire at will taken off. Otherwise, everybody else is ready to go, with the general back here in the back also. So let's see how they start out. Let's see if we can't track down where their artillery pieces are and get this thing going. Okay, we got cavalry right up front. Looks like they took a wall here. And we do have, right here, we got their artillery. And are they even set up right now? I don't even think they're set up. They are not even set up to fire, and they are quickly trying to rectify that, it looks like. A little bit too late. No, as a matter of fact, they are not rectifying that. They are staying limbered, and we will keep them as a target. Just keep the artillery pounding down on them. There they go. We've already taken out one of their guns, or a couple of their guns. Yeah, we're taking out a number. We're going to keep the artillery targeted there. Since everything else seems to be building in the distance, why don't we take our couple regiments over on this side and make some hurt on this side of their line, since they are not holding it very well. And since he is taking up position behind the wall, we'll send out one of our artillery regiments to help do the flanking action. So we don't have to just head on against a strong defensive position. Everybody else will hang tight for the moment. Don't need to send my cavalry units out against their artillery. So we'll just kind of see how they're forming. Right now they're blobbing, which is to my benefit, as we try tracking down. Anyone who stands near their artillery pieces right now is not going to feel good. 2 cannons down in this regiment, but they are not setting up to fire, which I find is odd. Right, why don't we aim one of our batteries at each artillery regiment. Let's see how we're setting up for our attack on this side. Oh, we still got a ways to go. Cavalry's in place. What do we have coming out here? We got a regiment of horses coming out. I think we can temporarily, since the artillery has not been firing upon us. Oh yes, they are firing upon us. But we have some artillery moving in against my units over here. We may have to go square formation and hold off on routing these guys out. Yep, in fact that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, a little too late. Oh, and we don't want the artillery going over there now that they've closed in on us, not paying attention here. Let's go back to their artillery. That's some friendly fire we did not need. Oh, with this in mind, we're going to see if we can't get our cavalry now out on our flanks and around their unit of line infantry. We should have done this sooner had I realized their cannon. In Okay, we can go back to our attack over here. If I'd realized their cannon were back in firing mode, I should have done this sooner to go get around so we don't take damage. Now we may take some fire. We'll find out. Keep going, boys. Run, 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 run. We took some shots. Minor casualties. Let's keep running. They're closing on our line there. The artillery pieces are all exposed now, so I don't think I need to with my cavalry free. We know they can take care of it. We're going to reorient my cannon fire. And it's in a great spot for their attack. We can just bombard down the line from a great angle. Oh, but we took ourselves out of square formation and their cavalry reformed and attacked. Let's get at least into close combat if we're going to have to deal with it this way. And bring my own cavalry in for my sloppiness over here to rectify this situation. Get these cannon out of action. We only have the general's bodyguard. We've caught the general bodyguard attention. The rest of our line seems to be holding okay. Oh, there's some more units popped up back here. Oh, their guerrillas are hiding in the back. But we should get past them. Target some units that are not wavering yet with our cannon, and their cannon are no more. And our cavalry is now running them down, so they will not return. Let's get this one unit out of square. We're taking fire, and we need to get up here to return fire as quick as possible. And we will now use this cavalry, which is over here, flank these guys out of their position. The rest of the line once again is holding tough. In fact, let's set our bombardment down this line just a little farther in the distance. And they are not. That's a strong line formation with the cannon able to just shoot down the line. And their line infantry that reformed and retreated is now trying to support over here. They're too little too late. Ooh, what have we got here? Oh, some more irregulars. So we're going to break off one of these units if we can. No, they're embattled. They are embattled right now. Could take these guys against the irregulars though. Yeah, because they're going to pepper us at a distance where we can't get them. We almost have the light infantry down here. And these guys are going to get swarmed very shortly. Okay, they've decided to come back to the line that they originally were targeted against. Let's see if we can't turn our attentions to them yet again. All right, now we have them on the run. We'll keep one of you units on the irregulars. We'll keep this unit on the line infantry, and then we'll take our remaining cavalry to start running up the line and running these guys down. We can probably safely bring the general out now. As long as we run him around the cannon. In fact, as a matter of fact, let's halt the cannon fire at the moment so we don't take friendly fire. And let's bring our general down. Charge this line in the rear. They're feeling good about not having the cannon fire coming down the line here, but they haven't turned around and taken a peek yet, have they? Let's keep rolling up the line, guys. Unfortunately, by doing this maneuver, we are going to take some friendly fire potentially. Let's kind of shut off the fire over here. Doing on our chasing down out here. Down to 7 there. Down to 19 there. We're almost ready to let them go. We are hurting a little bit, down to 95, but we've got them. They're pretty powerful line infantry. So maybe what we got to do is back off of this one. Continue firing. Chase down over here. And we have our general out also. Let's get him helping out with the chasing down. Got a little bit of a cauldron working, cauldron looking thing down here in the woods, so we're going to get our artillery help back online to help break up this area in the forest. We'll go into our own general's bodyguard now. In fact, maybe we won't, since they're moving towards the infantry. Nope, the distant units have gotten away from our cavalry, so the general's bodyguard is now our new target for our cavalry. The line is holding its own. We don't need extra support there. In fact, we can bring these infantry down in this direction to help do a little rolling of the line. In fact, all cavalry, all on deck, all hands to go against the general's bodyguard. At the moment, it's general on general. We're gonna have to watch ourselves, but these guys are coming up pretty quick. Let's hope we don't lose our own general in this attack. In fact, we're gonna back off now just to play it safe, if we can. Take over the attack this way on the general. Enemy general has fallen. That's good. We're going to bring you to break up the shots from these irregulars that are shooting at long distance against us. And the general can help out over here too. In fact, the general can run down back here and try preventing some escape. We are just about done in picking this army apart. We'll center the cannon there. Break off here. Break off there. And we need to do some more running down back here. They are locked in melee mode. Well, if you're locked in melee mode, I don't know how that happened. Let's attack. And the battle is over, so all we're going to do is continue running down those units that we can, and then we'll be right back to see what the victory's like. Alright, we ended up with a close victory on this one. So the regular units do prove a little bit tougher. I noticed down in this cauldron area that where we had some tough fighting going on, those units here that weren't able to fire anymore were locked into melee combat. Well, guess what? They ran out of ammunition. That's how much, that's how vicious this battle was over here. The ammo bars just depleted, and so that's all they could do is charge. If I had noticed that sooner, I could have brought up the reserves to help out, but instead we charged. So there you go. Let's look at the exact numbers here in just a moment. All right, victory 766 lost. When they said close victory, I was afraid this was going to be the numbers were going to be a lot closer than this, and we took out 2297. They have what is that, 500-ish remaining, and he is retreating. But I'm fine actually with him retreating in that direction. We're just got to see about getting ourselves repaired before we move against Lisbon. Looks like we may have gained a trait. Plus 5% to infantry units campaign movement range. Very good. And +2 command when leading infantry units. So our general has improved for us. One thing I'm going to look at doing now is we have our 5th rates here. It's a decent fleet of them. And we've knocked out the port with our infantry instead. I'm not going to blockade anymore, and I am going to see if we can get through the Straits of Gibraltar and find ourselves some ships from Venice and wreak havoc on some of this trade raiding that they're doing. So let's make some of our first moves in this direction. And on this one, I always hate auto-resolving, but to do a battle with that many ships, when it's not revenge like I did up against the Portuguese blockading ship, gets a little tedious. So we're going to take the chance that we might lose a ship in the battle. Let's go find out. Auto-resolve.
We zijn heer en meester over het water.
Oh, that was costly. We just lost 6 ships and gained only 1. Well, we're gonna keep it. So now we've lost 5. Oh my god. Well, that once mighty fleet is not so mighty anymore. We're gonna go into port, and we don't have money to repair anything yet at the moment, but here I was gonna go against here. Well, maybe I do it, but just don't auto-resolve. Where is the most nearby? There's a little bit of a problem with that plan. Is the Venice Navy is going to be pretty close, and I can't keep auto-resolving and losing this many ships. What we may have to do is bring our 4th rates back down into the action. See if we can't peel off a ship or 2 up here blockading. Ooh, let's just keep an eye on their navy. 5th rate and a brig. Now we're still okay with 3 here. So yeah, I'm running out of ships to be able to peel off. I guess if you want to look at the bright side, I have a little less ship maintenance to take care of now. And Lord knows when I do start replacing, it won't be with 5th rates. It'll be with stronger ships. So anyway, let's take a look at a couple other theaters. And really, there's nothing I can do over here right now. All my funds went towards repairing the army in Stuttgart, and that's just the way it is. So we won't be repairing these vessels. And let's just double check on India, make sure I'm not missing anything there. All right, they have taken over here. I think what we're going to do,
Klaar voor actie?
how about our rapid reaction force? Isn't that what we have over here? Isn't that what I'm calling it? Let's go float on over here. Okay, I guess we're not floating. Let's sail on over here
Orders?
and offload once again.
We zijn in vloot, geen leger. Klaar om te wenden? Roepen! Uit!
And wreak some more havoc. The only bad thing is they now have an open port. That is, unless I have the range to get back there. And this is a ship that's not at full strength. Oh no, it's only a brig, so we're fine. I was thinking it was a 5th rate. So now they're back to blockaded and back to their monetary problems. I haven't looked up here in a while. No new ports appear to have popped up. All right, and the last little bit of business that I see we need to do is perhaps consolidate our trade nodes down here into a stronger force to better stand up to 4 5th rates and a now captured fleet.
Schip in beste staat, kapitein.
Why don't we just do it? And we're kind of spread out. That's one thing I did here is in the battle against Spain that weakened us down, so we don't have as many ships as we used to down here.
Wacht op nadere orders.
So I'm a little stretched.
Orders?
Having the naval forces I need to protect the Straits of Madagascar. Oof. Our fleet is just a 6th rate, a very damaged 6th rate, another 6th rate. So 2 flutes, 2 6th rates, and one of them being heavily damaged. So we don't match up to 4 5th rates right now. So why don't we move as far away as we can? I imagine here, make them use as much movement as they're going to need to take us on. And I'm going to sit there. Now the good news is our income is expected to be a little higher next time. We're still getting a lot of raiding from their ships. You can see the Italian states, we're not getting much from them. In fact, that's all shut down, so perhaps Italian states are even blockaded. No, there's a little bit getting through. I take that back. Ottoman Empire, they're just being blockaded totally. That is where the bulk of our income disappeared from. I'm just going to take a quick peek over there, see who's blockading or where their issues are. Okay, we can see right away why we are losing trade with the Ottoman Empire right now. Although they do have other ports. But the Austrians have moved down and done a number on this main port of theirs. And I'm sure that's what's hurting us the most in our trade with the Ottoman Empire. So we haven't noticed this in a while. Austria is definitely expanding away from us. And I guess that's a good thing. They can be our ally as long as they're working in that direction. And also taking a look around, I think Poland is hurting big time. Yeah, they're just down to 2 territories. Maybe what we'll do right at the moment, let's see how amenable Sweden is to peace at this point. We have a lot of trade we can offer if need be, but initially we're going to do it straight up and see what their feeling is on this. In fact, we'll request trade along with the peace. See if that does anything. No diplomatic niceties. We're going to try one more to see if we can, because that'll free up some ships of mine. That's the only reason I'm thinking about this one. This one's at the back of my mind. The other thing, though, is if we're at peace, all of a sudden we become... They can start building up in Copenhagen again, so we're going to need at some point to start building forces here. So maybe we will not. sue for peace right at the moment. The Mughal Empire, no, I guess there's not much other peace that we can really be going for. We can try Venice at the moment, just so we can maybe have a little less raiding of our territories. Let's find out what they think. No, we're just going to rue this day. So much for the ideas of peace. We will stay at war, and we will get ready to move on our next turn. Let me just do a quick double check to see how the timing of this video is looking, and then we will decide if we're going to stick around for another turn or begin it next episode. So I've decided to come back next time and start the new turn then. I think we have a full enough episode time-wise at this point. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed the naval battle and the land battle, although not super big, not super significant. But we got to at least see what stronger troops, even though we outnumbered them, they do put up a better fight against us and cause more casualties, that's for dang sure. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world, and hope to see y'all next time. Thanks so much for watching.